Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Yemi. I am excited to be here with you guys this week. Thank you so much for everyone that continues to tune in to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Please go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family. Also encourage them to subscribe as well. I wanted us to talk about the workplace relationship. And now with the workplace relationship, I want us to focus on adult bullying. Really, this workplace relationship, you can also relate it to anywhere. The family, the church, anywhere where you have a community, adult bullying can actually take place as well. So today, if you're interested in just knowing more or learning or wanting to share your own experience about adult bullying, please go ahead and continue to watch. Also, don't hesitate to share your experience. It might not be something you've experienced firsthand, but if it has happened to somebody that you've noticed before, or you've been part of, being in an office and you see somebody being taken advantage of, please go ahead and put the experience in the comment section for us so that we can take a look at it. And I'll be responding to you guys there. Also know that whatever you share will be helping other people as well. Adult bullying, yes, it happens. I know that when it comes to children's bullying, that topic we know about it. We're very familiar with it. We talk about it a lot of times. A lot of attention has been paid to it. Now with adult bullying, a lot is not being said, and that is because at times it comes with a certain type of shame or stigma. You might feel that as an adult, I shouldn't be really dealing with this. I'm grown. Why should I be afraid to go to work because of this person that is being mean to me at work, or because of the situation that is going on at work? But I tell you, there's no need to have shame. There's no need for you to feel shame, because this is a huge topic that needs more attention. What the American Psychological Association defines as bullying. So it says that bullying is a form of aggressive behavior in which someone intentionally and repeatedly causes another person injury or discomfort. The discomfort to me is huge, because at times, most times we feel like, oh, is it in my head, or am I just being overly sensitive? But they are saying that if somebody continues to be intentionally causing you problems or heartache, or causing you to be uncomfortable, whether in the workplace, at home, in the family, or in the church, then that person is actually, or that person can be labeled as a bully. So what are the types of bullying that we have? We have physical, material, verbal, and passive aggressive. When it comes to physical is actually when somebody actually poses immediate danger to you. They either hit you, or they touch you, or they push you, or slap you. Anything physical contact would definitely go with the physical bullying. Material bullying is using your position, your power, to be a threat to other people. Take, for example, a good example that I would use, I remember some of the lecturers in Nigeria where they would say, you are in my class, you cannot even pass this class, regardless of how much you study, you're going to fail this class right from the beginning of the lecture of the class. That's a type of material bullying. Also, it could be in the workplace where you have your boss, and regardless of whatever you do, it's never good enough for your boss. They're using their position as a form of bullying and a form of domination over you. Now, the greater the power, the more dangerous the amount of abuse that person can actually exert. We also have verbal bullying. Verbal bullying has more to do with the use of words, threatening people, using abusive words at them, calling them names, body shaming them. Verbal bullying actually is very dangerous. Also with verbal bullying, You know how people would body shame and say words that are like, you're too skinny. I remember growing up, I was called all sorts of names for being skinny. Potato on chopsticks because my legs were very tiny. Or people would use the word, you're fat. You know, those words are very, they're degrading words. And if somebody says to you that they don't like being called fat, then you shouldn't call, nobody likes being called fat anyways, you know, so you shouldn't call people names, really. Those are the kind of examples of verbal bullying that you can see. The problem is not, you know, a one-time occurrence, but when it's done over and over again, especially when somebody tells you that they don't like it. You know, most times people would say these words just to describe people: short, tall. Mind you, when people call you tall, if you see somebody that is maybe, you know, a child that is growing, that child is growing really fast, and the child is way taller than their mates, and every time they say, hey, tall girl, tall, you know, and put an eye and you roll your eyes and stuff, and you continue to do that, and you can see that that person is uncomfortable being addressed that way. That's unfair. That's unfair, and it should not be done. The last one I have here is the passive aggressive bully. Passive aggressive bully is actually hard to identify because a lot of times you see this person that appears to be friendly, and then the next minute they're doing things to make you uncomfortable over and over again. Even when you tell them or you address the issue, they still continue to go on. And some of the things that you can actually see to know that this person is being passively aggressive towards you is side comments, rolling of eyes, like when they see you they just roll their eyes at, or making of sounds, body language, just the way the minute you come in they start like whispering, or their body language just changes to very cold for no reason, and they do it over and over again. Some people do like they stare you down. They would literally look at you and stare you down, like, I don't know, it's like a power struggle for them. Giving you the evil eyes. Some people that are friends that are maybe bullying people into being their friends, they won't pick up your phone calls. They will never pick up your phone calls, and they know that you'll be worried. Why is this person not picking up their phone call? Is this person okay? They will not even acknowledge the phone call, talk less of sending a text. So not picking up phone calls, yes, over and over again can be seen as a form of bullying. I'm not saying that we should disturb people with their phone calls or not respect people's boundaries, but when it's repeated with an intention to cause discomfort or harm, then it becomes an issue of bullying. Keeping malice, giving the silent treatment. I don't know if you've ever been in the same house or space with somebody that just gives you the silent treatment, like you talk to them and what's going on and all that, they don't say anything. If you were in a bad mood, you can say, I'm sorry, I don't feel like talking, I just feel down today. But no, they just want to give you a silent treatment so that they can make you uncomfortable or make you submit to whatever it is that might be going on between the two of you. So I'm just going to recap real quick again the types that we could have: the physical, the material, the verbal, the passive aggressive. Now, what are the examples of people that can be bullied? Anybody, actually. A spouse can bully the other spouse. A wife can bully the husband can bully the wife. Friends can, you know, frenemies, I would say, can bully themselves. If you're in a relationship with somebody that continues to just control, that's it's friendship with a bully, really. Siblings is very common, especially in our culture, where the older siblings is seen as the god of everybody, or the only person that the opinion matters. That person, if they are not careful, they can actually grow up to believing that and treating their siblings in a lesser way than they should, and that case becomes a case of adult bullying. Also, you can get this from a boss. That's the one I want us to focus on. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But you can get it at the workplace. You can get it from your boss. You can get it from a colleague. You can get it from a partner, you know, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, sort of situation. You can actually get it from any family member. You can get it from any family member. And also, you can also get it from phone calls. Some of these phone calls that call and they call you over and over again, trying to sell something to you, or trying to, like, you know, collect a bill from you. I don't know if you've ever interacted with any of those phone calls where they're trying to maybe collect a bill. They most times are very verbally abusive on the phone. I don't know if they give them the order to do that, but most times they're very rude on the phone. Now, in my own experience, some of the things that I have seen, actually one time on my job, these two, I would just call them colleagues. These two colleagues that were in, I don't know if they were in a relationship, I just worked with them. And the scenario was one person had been working there for a long time and the other person just started the job. And because she just started the job, she needed a lot more help. And every time she would go to this other, let's say the first person that has been working there, let's call that person employee A, and then call this new person employee B. So the employee B would go to employee A to ask for help, you know, to ask for directions. And because she wasn't getting the job really fast, the employee A would just, like, you know, make comments and grunt and, you know, wrong body language and treat this other person really, really, really bad. And I know that it was very uncomfortable for me to see this. One time I had actually reached out to this other person, the employee B, and said, hey, are you know, okay with this, or do you need help? And she was like, no, I'm fine. She's my friend. So I guess it depends on your personality type as well. She felt that she was getting the help that she needed. It didn't matter. And she didn't want to address it. Eventually, she left the job. She didn't tell me, but when she left, she was telling people that it was because of the employee A that she left the job. But when it was happening right there and then, she never brought the issue up for anybody to discuss or to maybe reprimand employee A. And we find that this happens a lot of times, especially in the workplace. A lot of people, when we go to work, it's a source of livelihood. We want to have peace when we at work. So when situations that are giving us heartaches happen, most times we tend to be more forgiving and stretch a lot more than we would do maybe at home or in the church or in the family situation, because we believe that, hey, this is my job, I need this job. So most times people would go through being taken advantage of, being, you know, abused and having heartaches at work. So real quick, let's talk about how do you handle adult bullies? When you notice that somebody keeps doing something to you that makes you uncomfortable over and over again, how do you handle it, especially if you're in the workplace? For me, the first thing I would say is you want to confront them. Bring the matter up to them. Say the person is your boss or maybe a colleague where, for example, somebody that you sent an email, but every time maybe they give you work to do or you send them an email that there's nothing that you do that is ever satisfying. Or maybe you guys are in a meeting and they say a word to bring you down, like in front of everybody. You want to confront them about it, and also make sure that when you go in to do that confrontation, you keep your cool. Don't lose your cool, no matter what. Don't be reactive, because that's what they want. They want you to start, you know, flaring up, and then they will keep quiet and calm. And you that you're flaring up, that's the person everybody's going to look like that has a problem. Everybody's going to think, oh, this person has no self-control. This is workplace. But they didn't know that that person has actually pushed your button. So keep your cool. That person is trying to, like, push you to the wall so you can react. and react in a way that will make you look bad. So when you want to go confront this person, make sure you do your deep breathing exercise. Make sure you are very, very self-aware of yourself. Try as much as possible not to get mad or angry. And the last thing you want to do is cry. Don't cry, especially at work. Do not cry, okay? You will be seen as being too emotional. You can also keep your distance from this person. If it's somebody, as an adult, I think actually as adults, we have a better chance of cutting off a bully than children, because you can actually avoid this person. Say, for example, the person is a family member. You could have a family member that acts as a bully to you. Maybe that person is, unfortunately, some parents can be bullies. If you have a parent that is a bully to you, if you have a sibling, an older sibling that is breathing down your neck, that is acting, as a bully, you can cut them off for the time being, so that you can regain your sanity. You can put up that barrier, put up that boundary, and let them know that, hey, this is the boundary I'm putting up. Because guess what? I don't like the way you talk to me. And if they refuse to, change to be better, then you know that this person does not even have any good intention for you as well. And let me just address, when it comes to family, I think some cultures, they promote this indirect bullying way more than others. There's some cultures, I would use my culture for example, with my own culture, they just, if somebody is older than you, it's almost like that person is turned into a god. You have to address the person a certain way. You cannot bring up a matter to discuss with the person. They are older than you. You can't talk to them like that. Just so many regulations. And God forbid, if that older person now, gets it into their head that, yes, I'm the HOH, head of the household, I'm the Olori Ebi, then that person, nobody can even talk to them. They become a mini god. So if you are entangled with that person, the chances that you're going to win is very, very little. For you to get your peace, put up a boundary. Cut them off for the time being. I'm not saying, do something ungodly, but for your own peace, find a way of separation from that person. Also, at work, especially at work, you want to know your fundamental rights. At work, you want to know your rights. And I put a note here for myself as to whether the rights that we have as humans, especially at work. You have a right to be treated with respect, regardless of your age, regardless of your race. You have a right to be treated with respect. If you're at work and because of the color of your skin, because of your accent, you're being treated wrongly, you can actually write that person up. You can go to HR for that. A lot of times, and I've seen people being treated really badly, especially as Africans. We're being treated really, really badly at the workplace because of our accent, or because of our color, or because of the way we say some certain things. There are actually some places that I've worked in a place where, I would say a word and this girl would repeat the same word, probably because I didn't say it right, or I said it in a way with my accent, and she would repeat it over and over. It was very, very annoying. But what I did with that was I just just laughed it off, because once I left work, for me personally, that was the end of it. I didn't care. I didn't remember until the next time I saw her. So I was able to shake it off. But we're all different. If you know that that person does it to a point where you become uncomfortable, then you can take it up with HR. Maybe that person needs to go through some cultural competency before they can continue their work. So it is very important that we know what our rights are. So you have the right to be treated with respect. You have the right to express yourself at work. A lot of us, and I'm sorry to say, As immigrants, most times we don't talk at work. We don't express ourselves at work. We just feel like, oh yeah, we're grateful to be here. We're grateful to be in this country. But guess what? You're working, you're paying your taxes, you're being a good citizen. You have every right to be here as any other person. So be free to express yourself at work. You have a right to set your own priorities. You have a right to be different, to have a different opinion from others. You have a right to create your own life and your own happiness. You have a right to create your own boundaries. So know your rights, especially at work. I will tell you, if you are being picked on at your job, for me, the one thing I would say is make sure that you know your job very well. Make sure that you're doing your job, you're getting to work at the right time. Make sure that you're not doing anything that would make you be in default or make you be at fault, rather. So know your job very well. Be good at your job. Be punctual. Be present. And then after you've done all that, anybody now decides to pick on you, then you have every right. Even before all these things are completed, you still have a right to bring it up to HR. Okay? Alrighty. So we're talking about how to handle adult bullies in your life. We already talked about knowing your rights, and I just went over some of the rights. There are more rights that we have. I want you guys to put comments. Don't leave me hanging here. Put some comments in the comment section, for us to talk more about. What have you experienced in this area before? Leave a comment for me so we can talk about this. Also, you should, in handling adult bullies, you want to share and talk about your experience. Share and talk about your experience, especially in the workplace. If you have somebody that you trust, you really, really trust at work, that you can maybe confide in and tell that person that, hey, the next time we're in a meeting, can you keep an eye out and see, is this person really doing this? You could do that if you want to. But at the same time, you are the only person that can actually define what is uncomfortable to you. Because if you talk and share with someone else, and the person you go and share with feels that, oh no, that's just the way they are, that's their behavior, they don't mean it that way, they might not see your pain. I want to address the not seeing people's pain really quick. A lot of times when things happen and we bring it up to people, there's certain ways that people can respond. They can say, hey, I hear you, I see your pain. Or they can tell you you're being overly sensitive. Or they can decide to go with the bully and say that, oh no, that person is actually really nice. Oh, what they said to you, it means nothing. I feel that as adults, we should be empathetic. Somebody comes to you and they tell you that somebody is making them uncomfortable, at least try to be objective. Don't explain away the behavior of a bully. That's wrong. What you're actually doing is you are empowering that person. Because they don't just, when you have somebody that is a bully, they don't pick on one person. They pick on a lot of people. Even if this person that comes to you to complain that this person was rude, or this person was, made this comment, or this person made me uncomfortable in this way, and you are explaining away their bad behavior, listen, they're going to do the same thing to someone else. And very soon, especially if you're a boss or you're in charge of that area of the department and you're not doing anything about it, that place becomes toxic before you know what is happening, because that bully goes around and spreads bad seeds to everybody around there. And some people that are maybe have very strong personality, they begin to fight back. And guess what? You have a ground for breeding people that are toxic, because nobody is addressing that one big problem that is there. So please, if you are a boss, you are a manager, you're a supervisor, or you are a leader, and people are coming to complain about a particular person, don't explain that person's behavior. It might be an opportunity for you to retrain that person and say, hey, look here, I know that this is your personality, but not everybody gets you. Okay? Please, how about you change when it comes to this particular person? They cannot take your way of joking. It's too crude for them. So, yeah. So I would say for leaders and people that are in place of, if you're in management or you're a director, don't look at somebody coming to you to complain as being, oh, this person is weak or this person. No, look at it as an opportunity for you to improve your employees or to improve your workers. Look for ways to correct or to train that person that they're complaining about. So the other way that you can actually also handle an adult bully is that you can actually know how to be assertive. If you're a kind of person that don't like being assertive, you don't like being confrontational, your voice is very soft, you're a kind person, you have to learn at a point to say no. The best way to address an adult bully is right there and then when they are doing something that you don't like. Just tell them, just cut them short and say, excuse me, what you just said right now makes me uncomfortable and I don't like it. So that's an opportunity for you. Learn to be assertive. I actually, a while ago, I remember the name of the minister, but I don't want to call the name of the minister. He actually said that he had to train himself to be assertive. He said he stood in front of the mirror and every time he would just say no, because he was trying to learn how to say no. Some of us are very kind. We don't know how to say no. We would always just default to whoever has a stronger hand or whoever has a stronger personality. That's not good, actually. Learn how to say no. Learn how to fight for yourself. Okay? Because not everybody will get you. Not everybody will understand that you're being bullied. Not everybody would, see that you're being mistreated. So learn how to say no. I remember for myself growing up, I would just, and I'm still I like to cry. To me, it's therapeutic. But growing up, I would just cry and cry and cry. But as I grew older, I just thought to myself, Yemi, you have to stop crying, okay? And I actually, when I would be in a situation where I felt like I needed to cry, I would stop myself, and I, with the grace of God, I made myself stronger because you have to be strong as a person. You have to be strong as a person. It is not all the time that management or leadership will come to your aid. Okay? So learn how to be strong as a person. And the last thing in how to handle adult bullies is to pray. You can actually pray for that person. Well, while you're praying, remember your safety is very important. I'm not saying pray and don't do anything. You can pray for the heart of that person. A lot of times, people that are being mean to others is because they've been mistreated in their lives as well. And they don't know how to react. They don't have good social skills, So you can pray for that person. You can pray for that the Lord will touch their heart. Okay? Or that the Lord will give you an opportunity to minister to them as a Christian. So you can pray for them. You can pray for them. But if you've prayed for them and you continue to pray for them and they don't change their behavior towards you, then you know that it's time to take some action. All right, so my angels, really, that's all that I have for us. I wanted this video to be really short because I've been putting out some long videos for some time now. But I want this video to be short so that we can have some time to talk more in the chat session, in the comment section. Please go ahead and leave a comment for me. How have you dealt with an adult bully in the past before? Have you helped a sister or a brother or a colleague or friend to overcome the power of a bully? Please go ahead and share that with me so that we can talk more about this. Again, I want to say thank you for joining this conversation. I appreciate you. Please make sure that you subscribe. I'm getting all these views, but I'm not seeing it turn into subscription. Subscription on YouTube is free. Please go ahead and subscribe. Share my videos with your friends and with your colleagues, with your family, so that I can get more subscriptions and more views.